What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for you rascals and rapscallions out there. As always, I hope everybody's having a great weekend, and I want to wish all the moms out there a very happy Mother's Day. Now, at the time that I'm recording this is the day before on a Saturday. I'm about to leave for Super Shogun Wrestling, the Ronin Rumble, which I feel like this is a trend that I record these videos right before Super Shogun or a wrestling show when I should be getting ready. But with that being said, as I was setting up, I thought I missed a couple opportunities for videos. I probably should have done a review of this. It would have been a first-time watch for Mother's Day. So I might watch this when I get home late tonight if I have enough energy to stay up, or tomorrow, and I might do a review for this. And I also thought a fun idea might be like a top 5 or top 10 killer moms in horror movies. So I might put that video out tomorrow after this one. It would be a little later in the day. We shall see how I feel tomorrow. But anyways, with that being said, let's hop into the video. First of all, I had a couple ideas for videos planned, but some things came up that made me want to switch to this one right here. 10 movies you should own on 4K. Now, a couple things were 3 reasons. For one, I'm very jealous of everybody's Killer Clowns from Outer Space 4Ks. I did not pre-order. I'm going to wait to order it Monday or Tuesday so I get it on release day. And yes, I'm going to double dip. I'm going to get the standard edition and the steelbook. Also, I seen a good friend of mine, Brian, just picked this up, Monster Squad, on 4K, and he got it for $10 without the slip. So I thought that was really awesome. So had me thinking about 4K movies. But I watched a movie I grew up watching that I haven't seen in so many years the other night, and it blew me away on 4K and made me switch my whole idea for this video for today. So now we're going to do the top 10 movies I think you should own on 4K. Now this is a video I could do many times over because I have a decent 4K collection. And I don't mean to come off as like a 4K snob or anything. If you don't want to get into 4K, that's perfectly fine. I understand that. There's plenty of movies I haven't upgraded on. Like, for instance, My Bloody Valentine, I didn't upgrade. I don't feel any need to necessarily. I don't think I'm going to get any Friday the 13th movies ever on 4K. I kind of like the way they look as they are. But with that being said, certain movies lend themselves to the 4K format, and I would suggest, most anyone, like I said, if you want to stick to your Blu-rays or even DVDs, that's fine. But I'm telling you, once you upgrade to 4K, it's a game changer. So I'm going to show you guys 10 movies. They're not all horror. I think I have 5 horror titles, 5 other genres that I just thought were pretty damn good in 4K. I'll do my best at describing these, even though most of these movies have the same positive qualities that make them great in 4K. But anyways, enough of me rambling on for 3 minutes in the intro. Let's get into the top 10. So here's the movie I watched the other night that blew me away and made me want to do this video. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Total Recall. What a great movie. And this is an amazing release, 3-disc release, which another positive I preached about is if you get a 4K, a lot of these titles will have the Blu-ray and the digital code with it. So you get 3 different formats. So even if you don't have a 4K player, it's worth it to get these in advance, pay the extra $5, $10 for it, because by the time you do upgrade, you do have the 4K. Now, for one, this is absolutely insane that I watched this as a kid, because this movie is so much more violent than I remember. And I wonder what it's rated R, of course. So I probably shouldn't have been watching it, but as you guys know, I've watched a lot of really fucked up movies as a kid. But this is one of the most extreme Arnold Schwarzenegger movies I've ever seen. Total mindfuck. The violence, I'm saying, there's like headshots in this movie. So many good one-liners by Arnold. And here when he shoots his wife, he considered this a divorce. Or my personal favorite, when he puts the screw jackhammer in and kills, what's his name, Benny or whatever. Screw you! Arnold Schwarzenegger's so funny. I love when he has like the hologram and that laugh he has. Ha, 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 ha. One of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies after rewatching this. And the fact that it takes place on Mars, and this was a very high budget movie at the time, the visual effects and the colors makes this one absolutely stunning. I love this movie on 4K. Quickly became one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies after rewatching. Like I said, it's probably been 15, 20 years since I've seen this movie. You guys should totally pick this one up, especially if you're a fan of big action movies, Arnold Schwarzenegger, stuff like that. Great movie. Now, next is one I picked up as a blind buy when I originally bought this. And I'm a big fan of LA stuff. The Cream Street Mafia, booked out of LA. My wrestling character is a guy from Los Angeles, California. And I love the Tupac song of this, and the artwork was amazing, so I finally gave it a shot to Live and Die in L.A. Kino Lorber puts out some pretty amazing 4K releases, and this one was awesome. It's about a cop, who's after this guy who's doing like money fraud, making counterfeit money, And this is just a really fun action movie that takes you in some directions you wouldn't expect. It has one of the best car chase scenes you'll ever see in a movie. I was shocked with how much I love this film, and it looks really good with the aesthetic of LA and everything, and there's a really cool scene at the end that does really good with the visuals and the colors and whatnot. So I suggest picking this one up, To Live and Die, Live or Die, To Live and Die in LA. Great movie. Like I said, it's going to be hard to describe a lot of these movies, why they're great in 4K. These are just a lot of movies I love in general, because a lot of the things that make these movies great in 4K are the same, like the vibrancy, the depth, the color, and everything. And this one is a prime example of it. This is one of my favorite movies that came out, last year? The Super Mario Brothers movie. This was quite an experience. I have a 65-inch 4K TV, and it was at night, pitch black when I watched this, and I threw some headphones on. I had Beats by Dre headphones, so I had the good sound in the ears. And this was an experience right here. I just got sucked right into this. If you're a fan of Super Mario or anything like this, I grew up on these games. Not only was this movie absolutely amazing, the animation was great, but the colors on this is the one that's going to pop the most. I've said it before, I think last week or the week before when I talked about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, I was hesitant with animated movies on 4K at first. I'm like, how is this going to be any better? And I'm like, these are the ones that are almost going to be the best. I'm not a fan of superhero movies or anything like that, but I would imagine if you are, like the Marvel movies and stuff like that are probably crazy in 4K, because this looked so good. And it says it right on the back, 4 times sharper than the full HD with the HDR for brighter and deeper lifelike color. This movie is so much fun. Can't wait for the sequel. They had a little teaser at the end with Yoshi, so yeah, that was great. You should pick this one up. Now, right here, when it comes to Vinegar Syndrome, this is the Belle of the Ball. This is maybe the best release they've ever put out, in my opinion. The best 4K they've ever put out, in my opinion. Roadhouse. What is there to say about this movie? Classic action film, Patrick Swayze. And if you guys aren't fans of Vinegar Syndrome, they put out a lot of really shitty movies, but their packaging is unbelievable. And this is part of their VSU line, Vinegar Syndrome Ultra. I'm just going to show you guys this for anybody that's not familiar with Vinegar Syndrome. Here it is in the chunky box. And what's really cool about these releases, opens up right here, and it's magnetic. Here's the inside. Got a little booklet in there. Then it comes with the slip and the movie as well. So this was awesome. I love it. Love seeing Terry Funk in here and everything. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to Patrick Swayze for that matter. But this is my favorite release that Vinegar Syndrome has put out. I wish they put out some more better movies for their VSUs. There's a lot of random stuff that has come out. Like, what was the latest one that came out? That Navy SEALs, or is that the one that came out? Yeah, but this one, Roadhouse, an absolute must-have, especially this copy. It might be hard to get at this point, but it's well worth the hunt. Now, my last non-horror title. This was a blind buy as well. I never seen this before, and I was shocked that I never did at that time because I'm a huge Al Pacino fan. And this is Carlito's Way. Now, this is the Chunky Box edition that Arrow Video comes out with. There's a ton of these from Arrow that are absolutely amazing. But I love this movie in general, first time watch. It's about Al Pacino getting out of jail as a criminal. He's trying to right his wrongs, and his lawyer, Sean Penn, is trying to get things right. And they run into all these twists and turns of crime and everything. And there is a lot of twists in these movies that I did not see coming that were absolutely amazing. This is such a fun Al Pacino movie. Same director as Scarface. And this scene in the beginning right here with the ballerina, that's one of the best scenes when I watch this. Like, not best in terms of for the film itself, but visually, when he goes looking after his ex-girlfriend and he's walking in the rain through New York, I think it is, and she's doing ballet and he's watching from a skyscraper across through the window. It was just stunning, the visual and everything. But this movie's amazing. Lots of twists and turns. Looked great in 4K. So now, on to 5 horror titles. This is primarily a horror channel, as you know, so let's get right to them. I got some obvious ones in here. First of all, Jaws, one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Now, this goes without saying why this one looks so good. For one, older movies that they can make look this much better, unless they're meant to have the graininess to them, like a lot of other horror movies, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, whatnot, it can really enhance it. And with this taking place in the water, I remember this was the first 4K I threw into my 4K player when I first bought it. And I was blown away. And I got a mark on the back. Damn. Pisses me off, damn collector shit. But I felt like I could literally put my hand through the screen and touch the water. It looked so good and so real. This is the first movie I could notice beams of sweat I never seen coming down off their heads. That's a big reason I haven't bought some like body horror stuff on 4K. Like when From the Beyond came out on 4K, I'm like, I don't really need to see that in 4K if I could see people's beams of sweat. But just the colors on the beach, the water and everything, it feels like you're right there. Like I said, you could put your hand right through and touch the water. This is absolutely amazing on 4K. If you're a horror fan, you need to pick this one up. Now, like I said, I'm pretty picky about the 4Ks I upgrade to when I already own the film. And this is about to be a little showcase for Scream Factory. The next four are all Scream Factory titles, which I think they do some of the best 4K releases. This is one I actually picked up at Motor City Nightmares last year. Just, I said, fuck it, I'm picking this up. The Burning. This is an absolutely amazing slasher that came out around the time of the original Friday the 13th, I believe 1980, 1981. I believe this is better than the original Friday the 13th, in my honest opinion. But a lot of movies, like I said with Jaws, that deal with water or outdoors or the woods, nature, really lend themselves to 4K, and this one is no different. From the beginning scene of Cropsey being lit on fire to all the stuff in the campground. One of my favorite horror movies that take place in campgrounds, which those are some of my favorites, and this movie is absolutely amazing. If you don't own this or have never seen this and don't have a 4K player, I suggest just getting this in general. This is an absolutely amazing movie. Next up is one I was just talking about recently because I picked up that steelbook that was so hard to grab from Walmart, and that is Creepshow. This is one of my very favorite horror movies of all time. In my top 10 easy. This is amazing. You can understand why with all the different segments and everything. You got, what's this one on the back? I don't remember all the names of these segments off the top of my head. But once again, them getting drowned on the beach and coming back as zombies looked amazing. The crate is the best for me. Just look at that monster when they show him, when he claws the dude's neck or whatever. The gore right there, that's some of the best shit I've ever seen in 4K. It looked absolutely amazing. And then all the cut scenes and stuff, how they do like the comic book stuff. Amazing. Amazing. I'm so glad to own this on 4K. It's so good I had to have it twice. Next up is one I just recently revisited. And, I wouldn't have put this in my top 10. This might be top 20, but it quickly almost changed my mind. I was going to do a full review about this movie. This 4K is amazing. The Lost Boys. This is my buddy Sean Silver's favorite movie. Shout out to Sean. I will see you at 80s Fest later this month. It's going to be a good time. We're actually going to go see, who's the saxophone player in there? I'm forgetting everyone's names. John Capitella or something. He's going to be playing live at this 80s Fest I'm going to at the end of the month. Maybe I'll get a little footage there. But this movie, just on the shore, all the setting on the shore and everything, them being vampires hanging from the fucking train tower and everything down to like their lair and everything, the kills and everything. This movie is so good. It looks so good. And like I just love this so much because like if you take away the couple that gets killed in that car, like midway through the movie, there's not any kills for like over an hour in this movie. I love when a horror movie can just turn into like a regular movie, like a coming of age movie, a teen comedy or whatever, and you don't have to see all the kills or violence to get into it. I think that's a big compliment in horror movies where you don't have to grip right into the horror the whole time. The story is so good and so fun, and that's what this movie is, an absolute classic. I love the line at the end with the grandpa when he kills the final vampire and he's like, yeah, this town or whatever, just all these damn vampires. They're like, what? You knew about the vampires the whole time? But awesome movie. So much fun revisiting this. And I'm kind of iffy with like Warner Brothers sometimes with the 4Ks they put out, but this one was awesome. And last but not least, I had to throw this in here. This is in probably the most videos I've ever done. I've talked about this in the most individual videos, the most suggested videos, stuff you should watch. And I got to talk about it again. My all-time favorite movie, not just horror, but in general, Return of the Living Dead. What is there to say about this movie? It is so much fun. I will scream from the mountaintops how much I love this movie. It's funny, the cast is good, the dialogue, the scenery, the setting, the gore, the plot, the comedy, the kills. The only thing I don't like maybe is like the ending a little bit. I wish it could have been maybe a little different, but this looks great. Absolutely amazing. I remember when I first watched this on 4K, like when the ambulance driver hits his headlights and he looks forward and sees all the zombies in front of him. There were zombies in the background I never noticed before until I seen this in 4K. And this is legendary. I know you guys all know about Return of the Living Dead. If you're a fan, you got to pick this up in 4K. I wish this would have gotten like a steelbook treatment or something, because I would buy every copy of this. Thinking about picking up this version and or 1 and 2 on DVD, because I think like I heard that the soundtrack is like the original, the theatrical soundtrack that you can't find anymore if you get the DVDs. I used to have them, but I lost them. I digress. We're not talking about DVDs, damn it, we're talking about 4Ks. But this one right here, you got to pick up. It is one of the greatest movies of all time. Like I said, my personal favorite. And that is me done ranting and rambling on about these 4Ks. I can do another volume of these movies if you guys want. Let me know if you own any of these in 4K. Let me know if you pick any up and what you think of them. Let me know any 4Ks you suggest me picking up that look absolutely amazing. And with that being said, you know, I might put out a Mother's Day video later today. We shall see. Either way, I should probably get my ass up and finish packing my gear bag and get ready to go to Super Shogun Wrestling tonight. They're having a Ronin Rumble. It is a Royal Rumble match. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, I have won the match. We shall see. But either way, like I said, hopefully everybody's doing great. Thanks for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun jazz. Blood, guts, gore. I'll check you guys next time.